I founded the CSO called the Open Ministry, which is about crowdsourcing legislation and putting well-prepared law proposals in front of the parliament in Finland. Well, the backdrop is that in Finland there was a constitutional amendment in 2012 where now 50,000 people, or 1.2% of the voting population, if they support a proposal, the parliament has to process it in the same fashion as it does the government bills. Our aim is basically to make sure that anybody who wants to make such a proposal to the parliament has all the lessons learned and all the resources that have been amassed in the earlier campaigns, so that they can make the best of the new institution. So the idea is not to to get the overall public opinion, but rather see if certain topics rise from the discussion. There was in some cases even consensus between conflicting interests. There's a pilot that collected crowdsourcing tools to collect different questions and then the answers regarding what the off-road traffic law should be like in Finland. So that got a number of different interest groups involved in the discussion on how to regulate and compensate for damages and so on. Well, it's all-terrain vehicles in the north, the snowmobiles and so on. Then there's the interests of the indigenous people in the north of Finland, in Lapland, and how to compensate for the landowners. The Committee of the Future agreed with the Ministry of the Environment, who's in charge of the off-road traffic regulation. They agreed on doing this pilot where they set up a web page for collecting questions and answers to problems and solutions regarding the regulation and other issues around the off-road traffic law and how the landowners should be compensated and how the nature should be taken into consideration. Well, the off-road traffic law was considered outdated. The previous parliament didn't have time to update the law. It was foreseen that it would interest many of the people who are affected by the law. Well, they used an online platform, an existing platform that was modified for this use case, and they had different phases of inputting, first brainstorming and then framing the questions and finding the solutions together with them. But there's a lot of facilitation obviously involved in carrying out such a crowdsourcing effort. And the politicians and the civil servants preparing the law need to understand that it's not like a representative sample of the population, obviously, because people chose to participate, and people with their own interests, of course, were vocal about their needs and requirements for the law. The ideas aren't always something that can be implemented, but they always need to be addressed, and it needs to be explained why certain things that rise from the participation can't be implemented or are conflicting with other interests and have to be left out of the bill. But just ignoring them and not explaining why they are left out of the process, that's something that needs to be sure that doesn't happen. Well, I think there's good motivation by the public officials. They want to hear what the public has to say. They want to participate, citizens. But I think it's a learning process now through these pilots that both sides learn how to take that input and actually have that influence what happens. The important thing to keep in mind is that if people participate and they don't get feedback, or they are ignored, they will quickly lose interest. So the processes have to be such that when citizens are participating, they get the explanation of why certain things, for example, are left out of the preparation. Well, when people sign up to these online engagement tools, they should be the primary channel to give the feedback back to them once the process goes further and the actual law proposals are being drafted. There needs to be the feedback back to the original participants in the discussion. I think in the future there needs to be more pilots to learn from, because each is a bit different. Different people will choose to participate on different topics, but to get more people involved, to get not only the people who have their own personal interests that motivate their participation. That's important. But obviously those people have the motivation to take part. The challenge is to get regular people who are not kind of motivated by personal interest to get involved. That's the big issue. That's the big question to answer in the future, I think. But my hopes are that in the future, or in the very near future, governments will take the citizen participation, citizen empowerment seriously, and a lot of regular people will consider these new ways of influencing something that they can do in addition to voting every 4 years or so.